Hey YouTubers, this is my first video, my first moto vlog that I'm doing. I'm riding my Suzuki SFV650, the Gladius. Not a very popular bike. Suzuki decided a number of years ago to discontinue the SV650 and replace it with the SFV Gladius. It's a V-twin. And really the big difference was the body style, I think. And nobody liked the body style on the Gladius. Everybody hates it. But this has been a terrific little bike. I've had it for a little over a year. It's very confidence inspiring. I really love this bike. But I went to the dealership last week and there was a Yamaha FZ07 that they had. It was used. It's a 2015 model, and the fellow that had it, he was a moto vlogger also. He did a ton of mods to it, probably almost everything that I would have done to it, and so it was a very sweet deal. So I am trading in the Gladius. I'm going to be saying goodbye to her tomorrow, and so I just wanted to document for the sake of posterity this beautiful bike, because I think she's quite lovely. And I did a lot of mods. The first thing that I did was I got a windscreen. It's a little Ermax bikini fairing. Very effective. Really cuts down on the wind. I got some bar end mirrors. I've had several different bar end mirrors on this bike. These are the current ones. They were just cheap off eBay or Amazon or something like that. Just very simple. Just screw into the handlebars. That was a very simple modification. The next mod that I did was the Hepco and Becker bags. They're the SIBO bags. They are terrific. I'll show you how they work. They're designed. There's a bike-specific mounting system. Oh, wrong key. And what happens is they come off, and what you're left with is this pretty unobtrusive mounting rack so you can take the bag with you. This bag got a little scuffed up going in the garage one day, rubbed on the bricks, so it's a little scuffed, but they are terrific quality bags. I believe they're German, and they hold quite a bit of stuff. They've got an opening here, and it's pretty easy to load them up. They're soft-sided, so they've got a bit of give to them, and they're pretty rain-proof as well. I keep my rain gear in the bags all the time. I take my lunch usually in the other side when I ride to work. The last mod that I did, and probably the nicest mod, was the IXL slip-on muffler. It was super simple to install. Simply a matter of undoing this clamp on the original muffler and undoing this bolt. Take off the original muffler, slip on the IXL using the same hardware, and that was it. Took my friend Jack about 10 minutes because I needed somebody who could use the wrench. It was a little fiddly getting in behind small areas, but it didn't take him very long at all. I had the bike lowered, probably about 1.5 inches, I think, and it's very stable, very comfortable bike to ride. I also got the levers replaced just recently, actually. That's what they were doing at the dealership when I saw the FZ07, and so I had the levers installed, but unfortunately somebody else is going to benefit from them. But this has been a super sweet bike. I just love it. Really, I've got mixed feelings about trading it in because it's just the way I like it. Oh, the Corbin seat. How could I forget the Corbin seat? That was the very first modification that I made on this bike. Not the windshield, it was the Corbin seat. They're super expensive. They're between $400 and $500, but worth every single penny. The stock seat was just the worst. It was very, very thin, very little padding, just really super, super uncomfortable. And every review of this bike that you'll see, people will complain about the seat. It's just torturous. You can't really ride for more than 15 or 20 minutes on it before the seat just does you in. So I sent away for the Corbin seat. I've owned other Corbins and Mustang seats. They're a real must on any bike, I think. Stock seats tend to be terrible. So that's pretty much it, I believe, except for the little tank sticker, you know, the little tank protector. But this has been a super sweet little bike. And with the Ixel exhaust, it sounds terrific. Plenty of power. Very good in the low end, very good in the mid-range. Never taken her on the interstate, but I'm sure she'd do fine on the interstate. Nice instrument cluster. I like the old style analog tack, and she just starts up every time. Never a problem. No complaints at all. Great placing of all the different instruments and knobs and whatnot, buttons. Everything works well on this bike. You know, you lean forward a little bit, which is nice because you can actually hunker down if it's raining, or if you want to get a little bit of speed, you can kind of hunker down pretty easily. But just a really super sweet bike. I think people have given it a bum rap, but really there's nothing wrong with this bike. So, but tomorrow will be her last day. I'll ride her to work, and then on the way home I'm going to stop at the dealership. They've had the FZ07 lowered for me, and it'll be ready to go. I'm going to take it around on a quick test drive because it wasn't prepped for riding when I went and purchased it, so I never got an opportunity to take it out and ride. But I talked to the service manager yesterday or today, and they got the lowering links in, installed them. They said they took it for a ride. One of my concerns about the FZ07 is a lot of the reviews talk about how light it is in the front end, and you know, it has a tendency to wheelie pretty easily. People have described the steering as vague. The service manager said he would describe it as twitchy. So that was a big concern of mine. What he said was that with the lowering link installed, that the rake and trail have been altered, and he said it's actually less twitchy in the front end, and that it's riding really nicely. So I know it's difficult when you have something altered, especially something like having a bike lowered. You know, as my brother-in-law says, these companies spend, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars developing these bikes and designing them, and they're designed to do everything well. And when you mess with the geometry and lower them, you know, you can really mess a bike up. So that was a concern. Certainly lowering the Suzuki hasn't hurt it any. It's a very stable bike, very stable at speed, very stable in the corners, very confidence inspiring. I would definitely recommend it for a smaller rider, a newer rider. The 650 definitely puts out plenty of horsepower, more than most people would ever need. So I would definitely recommend this bike. I think it's gotten a bad rap, and now Suzuki has reintroduced the SV650 for 2016, and so I'm sure everybody will be buying those. It's old school. It doesn't have the funky front headlight. It's got a round front headlight. They say they've made a lot of tweaks to the engine, but you know, that V-twin is beautiful. It sounds great, puts out plenty of power. It's just super reliable. So I would say if you find yourself a little used SFV Gladius, grab it. I'm definitely going to be sorry to say goodbye to this one. It's been a great bike. I couldn't have asked for anything more, really. Look, corners nicely. Very well behaved. Not worrying about any wheelies. And so, anyway, we'll see what happens at the dealership tomorrow. I'm going to take that FC07 out for a ride, and if everything goes to plan, I'll be riding it home. But if I don't like the way it handles, I'll be coming back home on this gal, this little Suzuki. All right, peeps. This looks like the end of the ride.